Oh, here we go. Hello and welcome to Declutter Your Life workshop. We're just getting online. Just press the record button. Welcome, MJ. Glad you're here. Thanks, Joy, for joining us. Thank you, Mary Lou, as always, for helping us out. We've got a few people that have been and seen this workshop already, I'm sure, but that's all good. It doesn't hurt to hear it all again. And I ran this workshop with another group yesterday with a slightly different twist. So let's see what stories I tell today about decluttering your life. I never know what I'm going to say sometimes. So let's see today. So as I said, thank you for coming today. A good way to start this workshop is to have a think about the things that accumulate in your home and how you can start to address that and change how we think, change how we do things as we're going through this workshop, Declutter Your Life workshop. I'll introduce myself shortly, although everybody here in the room knows who I am. Will for the people that are joining us on the recording, because there were a few people that said they couldn't make it in person. Somebody, I think in the UK, I think it was Mary Lou, said it was going to be 1 o'clock in the morning for them. So not much fun for them to get up at that time of day. But hello, if you're joining us on YouTube. So here we are. My business Space and Time is all about making conscious choices with how we use our space and our time, hence the name of the business. And it's all about setting up systems to create a simpler life so that we can break it down to the tiniest, easiest things to do just to get the important stuff done. As I said when we were looking at the previous slide, what's your intention today? What things do accumulate at home that you'd like to think about and focus on today? This is general decluttering today. We're not looking at a specific area of the home, so it's general thoughts. Changes of any sort are easier if you have a clear intention. So if you're thinking about that paperwork or those keepsakes, the memorabilia, or even the digital clutter, have a think about those things as we go along. And as always, we will let you know what we're up to next so you can continue your decluttering journey after our session today. So here I am, Julie Cliff, declutter coach and professional organizer. Before starting my business, I had 20 years as an executive assistant and administrator. So that means helping people get and stay organized, originally in an office and now in people's homes. So more than 10 years ago, found a group of professional organizers here in Melbourne, and now I run a team of people and we go into people's homes and help them declutter and get organized. Today, I'm off to help a client in the home with another of my team members. Not quite sure what we're going to do today, actually. Looking forward to it though. Yeah, as I say, the other girls are busy out and about today as well. Married. My husband is at work. One of the teens is in bed. He doesn't start work for a few hours, and one of the boys are at school. So the impact of clutter is why we want to get ourselves organized, because clutter can lead to stress and anxiety, and it also takes away our focus and really reduces our productivity, because we can become overwhelmed by clutter, and it just looks like, it's too overwhelming. There's too much to do. You get overstimulated when you look at a pile of things, and it really can be overwhelming and you just don't know where to start. And clutter also impacts our overall well-being. And as I've just mentioned, declutters, got that word on the brain, decreases our focus and productivity. And it's not just at home either. We seem to carry the clutter, the weight of the clutter on our shoulders when we walk out the front door. We're often thinking about it. We might feel ashamed about it. We don't invite people over. So it really does affect our overall well-being. So why do we want to get organized? Well, we want to improve our organization at home to increase our quality of life. We want to decrease our stress, and we want to make tasks as simple as possible. So this might be planning a task, organizing it, getting the important things done. So our philosophy at Space and Time is getting the important things done. If you don't need to do it, don't do it. If someone else can do it, get someone else to do it. But I want you to be focused on getting the important things done around the home. Here's a quick few photos of some of our success stories to show how a little bit of organization goes a long way to helping people. This pantry, the one on the right, would be much easier to see what ingredients you have, to be able to know what you have available, what you could cook for dinner, and also when you're creating your shopping list as well. You could look in this neat and tidy pantry and know that everything is in date. It's all got its own place, and it's nice and easy to find things. Getting ready for work in the morning is much easier when you don't have to go looking for your toothbrush. You know where things are, and there's no tripping hazards on the floor. And also simple things like the kids being able to have a spot to put up, hang their school bags, like this picture on the right. Easier for them to be able to do that when there is a nice hook, a clear path to walk in, and then other storage facilities in this little storeroom underneath the stairs. So we're going to have a look at the 6 steps of the Space and Time organizing system. And I know, again, that the few people that are joining us here live online today have seen our 6-step system and would be becoming very familiar with these 6 steps. But if anyone hasn't seen this and they're watching us on YouTube, I hope this is a really good help for you. And it's just a good system to give you somewhere to start and sort of some signposts along the way of your decluttering journey. So this is the 6 steps of the Space and Time organizing system, starting with step number 1, stop the stuff. The second step, your commitment to being organized. Step number 3, sort the stuff. Step number 4 is the decluttering step, which is things you no longer need. 5th step, easy storage, and then maintenance. So we're going to have a look at each step and firstly understand why the step is important and understand why it is in the sequence of steps, why it is the particular step number, and also give you some ideas on how to go about it in the Here's How section. So let's have a look at step number 1, stop the stuff. It's a really good opportunity to do a bit of an audit. Let's stop, have a think, and try and understand where does all the stuff come from, because there are often times when it's deliberately bought in, when we deliberately go shopping to buy items, but sometimes it sneaks its way in. It might be a hard rubbish pickup off the side of the road. It might be something that comes from the op shop. It might be something someone has given you, things that come home from school or work. So start to have a think about where the stuff comes from and how it gets into the home, because it really is difficult to make progress of any sort if there's still more stuff from coming in. So really, this step is talking about being mindful of what you can bring into the home. A good thing and a good way to start this step is learn to say no to acquiring new items. So that might be reminding yourself, no, I don't need it. Or it might literally be saying to somebody, thank you so much for the offer of that bag of clothes, but we don't need it at the moment. Or it might just be no, you don't need to give an explanation, and just being able to start to stand up for yourself and really, as I said, take that audit of what's coming in. You can also set some limits yourself on what you do bring in. So I gave the example yesterday when I gave this workshop online. You might decide you only have 15 pairs of shoes and that's all you have. So if one pair of shoes comes in, another pair has to go out, or even if you want to be game and whittle down your shoes even further, one pair of shoes comes in and a couple of pairs goes out. I need to do that myself with my sneakers or my sort of, they're more like dress shoes going out for lunch and that sort of thing. I've just recently bought a new pair, so I've got them lined up in my walk-in robe to have a look at them, and I will do a bit of a video on them soon about those boundaries, because I don't need 4 pairs of shoes to wear when I go out for brunch. 2 would be good. I think I'll be letting go of 2. So let's stop more from coming in. So here are some examples of how we can do that. How do we stop acquiring more things? Well, here's some examples, particularly with toys. If you've got little people, if you've got, or even grandkids, nieces, nephews, rather than give another piece of plastic, think about the idea of giving a voucher for the movies, or taking them to the zoo, go out for a picnic, donate a goat to World Vision on their behalf. Rather than, as I say, another piece of plastic. So just start to think about how can you stop more things coming into your home, but also starting to help other people when you are giving gifts. How about your wardrobe? How can we stop more things from coming in? First one, it's not written there, but I'm going to say it. Stop online shopping. Stop scrolling. Stop looking. You probably don't need it. It probably won't fit when you receive it. Go out, take a friend, and only buy the item if it fits. So unsubscribe from all of those people showing you all the beautiful clothing. Stop looking at those sites and really be diligent. Let's stop the stuff. And general shopping as well. You're going to Bunnings, you're going to Kmart, you're going to Walmart, wherever you're watching this from, whatever your big shops are called. Take a shopping list with you and stick to it, and return the items if they don't suit the purpose that you bought them for. How about paperwork? How can we stop more from coming in? Best thing to do is unsubscribe. If it's a newsletter or a magazine, something like that, that you're not reading anymore, contact them and say, please don't send me this paperwork anymore. And also paper bills, we probably don't need to receive them anymore. I know that some people do like the paper, and if that's fine with you and it's not a problem, go ahead and get the paper copy. But often I go to people's homes and there's lots of unopened mail, so unsubscribe as much as you can. Another couple of ways to stop more things from coming in is say no to giveaways. It might be walking down the street, someone gives you a sample of something or a pamphlet, or a friend gives you a bag of clothes, like I said before. Say no thanks. And also keepsakes and memorabilia. We've got a keepsakes and memorabilia workshop coming up soon in a couple of weeks' time. So come along and join us for that one. But say no to family heirlooms. See if somebody else can look after those special keepsakes. And the other thing is, not all keepsakes are created equally. We don't need to hang on to every piece of artwork that our kids make. We can be selective as to what we choose. Let me have a look. Oh, yes, thank you. MJ says in the chat, stop freebies from coming into the house. I love it. Yes, stop the freebies, because they often, we don't want them. We didn't purchase them. So stop the freebies. Thanks, MJ, for sharing. Let's go on to step number 2, your commitment to being organized. Unfortunately, there is no magic wand. So if you came here today and we're looking for that, silver bullet or that magic wand, I'm sorry, there isn't one. Being organized takes time, commitment, and focus and persistence. So we really want to change our attitude to the quick fix and just be making it a daily task, starting to deal with what's in our hands, rather than dump it on the kitchen bench. We would put it away where it lives. We'll talk about those permanent homes for things shortly. And also today we're talking about looking after you, getting you organized, not other members in the family. We're not pointing at others. I often give the example when I give this presentation of our kitchen bench. It's quite a long piece of, man-made stone, and I'll look at it and go, oh, that's a mess. They go, oh, hang on a minute, that's my earbuds, that's my notebook, that's my drink bottle. So I quickly tidy that up before I'm telling anybody else for, stop dumping their stuff there. So continuing on step number 2, your commitment to being organized, I want you to change your mindset towards being organized. I want to catch you. No, I want you to catch yourself every time you do an amazing organizing thing, rather than go, oh, I'm so disorganized and unorganized and wish I could do it and I've never been able to do it. I want you to start telling yourself you are an organized person and catch yourself doing the great things, because there will be many things that you are doing well, and there may be some things you've done in the past you might like to bring back into now, a meal planning list, use of a diary, something like that. Get committed to being organized by giving yourself a pat on the back as often as you can in relation to this. And really have a good think and a focus about what do you want your future life to look like. Do you want to run around and look for your missing shoe, missing key, phone? Do you want to keep doing that? Or can we tweak the system a bit and have a more organized, practically organized system for things, so that it's much easier to know where things are? So here's how we can do that. We want to set up our home to support the rest of your life. So we want to organize our physical surroundings to help us live the life that we want to live. So just for example, if you wanted to improve your sleep, you would set up a system to help you decide what time is bedtime. For me, it's around 8:30. I go and start getting ready for bed, which includes, teeth, putting pajamas on, hopping into bed for a while and reading, say goodnight to everyone, turn the light out at 9:30, and then asleep by 9:32. So that's my way that I have adjusted my routine, my physical surroundings. I've got everything beside my bed that I need. I've got, everything is just where it needs to be to help me with my sleep. So I would love for you to be adjusting your physical surroundings around how you want to live your life, whether it's sleep, whether it's eating, whether it's doing your craft, whether it's caring for others, whether it's caring for yourself. How can we make these tweaks and really be committed to an organized life? Also, explore the idea of what being organized means to you. Our home here is quite neat and tidy, but it's not a show home. If you come today, you'll see a set of curtains that I just washed on the dining room table that haven't been put away. There's a big blanket there that needs defluffing. The kids' clothes, a couple of them put their clothes away last night after my husband folded them, but not everyone's put them away. So there's still things to be done. That's okay with me. But if you do want it perfect, then someone really needs to be in charge of it and really help others in your home to do that as well. So explore what being organized means for you. And you've probably got other things on the go. I know a couple of people that are joining us today are in a caring role, so they do have others to look after. So time is of the essence. What are those important things you need to do? And put yourself first as well. Time for self-care, time for exercise, time for your craft, lots of things that we can be doing to look after ourselves so that we can be looking after others. And get that dedicated time in the diary. 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes twice a day. We had somebody on one of the sessions a couple of weeks ago say that they committed to getting rid of one garbage bag of stuff out of the home for 12 months. And it made such a big difference. It wasn't much to do, just one bag each week, 52 garbage bags of stuff out the door to the op shop, gone. And just with that steady dedication, make that commitment to yourself. What are you going to do? What is your equivalent of one bag of stuff per week going to look like for you? Right, let's have a look at the third step, sort the stuff. So this step is all about putting like items together. I love this step. It's one of my favorite things to do, whether it's when we're sorting paperwork or utensils like this picture here, or a box of old cords. We just start to get them out and put like items together. We're not deciding just yet if we're going to keep the item or not. This step is all about order and clarity. And this order and clarity can really help us decide what to keep and what to let go, because our brain likes this order and it helps us declutter more effectively. So here is our bundle of utensils, but all of the people that are joining us online today have seen these photos before. They've heard me tell the story. That from the picture on the left, you would never know that I have 7 vegetable peelers. So with them all lined up neatly, all the knives together, all the spoons, all the vegetable peelers, all the tongs, we've really got a much better idea. And then from here, we will start the decluttering shortly. But this sorting step is so important and really helps us make a start. Because the idea is to do the sorting, let the emotions come and go, and not get stuck on them. So you might have grandma's wooden spoon in your hand and you can think about grandma, you can smell the bread that she made, the cakes and all those sorts of things, and licking the wooden spoon, but don't want to get too hung up on that emotion. We just want to let those emotions come and go while we're doing this sorting stage. So here's how to do it. It's pretty easy. Find all those like items, small appliances, put them together. I once found 2 rice cookers in a small kitchen. They had no idea they had 2 rice cookers. One was in one cupboard, one was in another. But by bringing all the small appliances out and sorting them, we found the cheeky little thing that had been hiding. Put all the baking equipment together, the dishes, the bowls. Put the wooden spoons together. I think last week when I was doing a kitchen and pantry, I found about 9 wooden spoons. They often have different reasons for use, but I don't think this family did a lot of baking, so I think some of them can probably go. But this is a great way to be able to decide what to keep and what to let go. And here's some other ideas, starting with the junk drawer, or the toys, or paperwork. So just a few different ideas on how you can start sorting your stuff. So a quick recap on the first 3 steps. This is really being laying the foundation for decluttering, which is the next step. So the first step was to stop more stuff from coming in, be mindful of where it's coming from, and also really starting to make that choice that you want to be organized, which is that second step, your commitment to being organized. And that step that we just talked about, step 3, is sort the stuff, that we can really see what we've got and have that order and clarity. So the 4th step, things you no longer need. Let's have a look at letting items go, and we might pause in a second after I have given some ideas here on letting things go. We might talk about the difficulties of letting things go and see if others have got some examples. So let me know, the people that are joining us live, what are some of the difficulties in letting things go? Pop it in the chat, or in the minute you can unmute yourself, but would love to hear what are the difficulties, but what have been your successes as well? Where have you donated things to, or those sorts of things? How have you got things out of the home? So let me share these tips, and then I look forward to hearing from the people that are joining us today. So understanding why this step is important. It's all about letting go to make space for what's important. So we want to let go of the things that we're no longer using. We want to let go of the things that once upon a time we may have used, but is of no use to us now and is not supporting us in our current life. It's really also about clearing the physical and mental clutter. And as I said before, the previous 3 steps really helped us to get to this point. We've got to the right frame of mind. We know why we're doing this. So it should help letting things go, should make that easier. So here's some ideas on how we can do that. So now is the time to let go of what you don't need or use. And we want to start with the easy choices. I call that the low-hanging fruit. We want to start with the duplicates. So if I needed to declutter my kitchen, if I was moving to a smaller kitchen, something like that, and I didn't have room for 7 vegetable peelers, well, that would probably be a good place to start, or however many wooden spoons you have. Start with the duplicates and choose your favorites. Which ones feel good? Which ones work well? Which can opener works best? Which pair of shoes is the most comfy? Start with those duplicates, and also the broken items, let them go. We really do try our best to not put things into landfill, but sometimes those items are just too far gone. They can't be repaired. Nobody else wants them, and they may need to go to landfill. So start with those items. And know where to donate as well. Check out spaceandtime.com.au for a huge list of places to donate here in Melbourne. But you could also have a look at that list if you're joining us from somewhere from overseas, and just see the types of places to donate stuff. And then you can do your own research in your own area, or where can I donate old shoes in my town, and put your town in there. So knowing that things are going to a new home, they're going to be used by someone else, is really helpful for my clients, and they really appreciate being able to let things go. Just becomes much easier. As I said, let go if you have multiple, and use the idea of thanking the item for its service. I heard this from Marie Kondo, and she would thank that pair of shoes there, thank them very much for the service. But I got a new pair, like I was talking about my shoes that I need to let a couple of the pairs go. Thank them for their service, give them a wash, give them the clean up. You could ask locally on a Facebook group if someone would like them, or take them to your op shop. Lots of places that we can let these items go. And also, if you have an item that's sentimental to you, like kids' artwork, some pottery they made, or some of your things that you have made along the time, take a photo of it to keep that memory alive, or make a video, write about it, journal about it, so that you really keep those memories in your heart and in your mind, because the memories will not go once you let go of the item. The memories and the sentimental attachment is in your heart. So take a photo, or make a video, and then let the item go. So hopefully some of those ideas have been helpful for letting things go. Let's check out the chat. Mary Lou, thank you for your thought. She says, letting go of my old pants, as I'm hoping to fit into them into the future. I've already given them to my sister. Awesome idea. It's a great idea, whether you've got clothing that's either too big for you or too small for you, and hanging on to them in case you're wanting to wear them one day, whether it's to put on more weight or lose weight. Great idea to just let them go. And if the time comes that you find yourself, you are a different size, reward yourself by finding some new clothes that suit your new body shape. Doesn't have to cost a lot. As I said, it could be going to the op shop, it could be getting some new clothes from a friend, but have a bit of a go. Has anybody else got something that they would like to share about letting go of items, and some challenges there, or some successes? Oh, Yvette's coming in. So you can either share in the chat, or you can take yourself off mute. Hello, Yvette. Thanks for coming. Jade's here as well, Joy and MJ. We were just having a quick little breather through the presentation here. We're talking about letting go of things. What are successes you've had of letting things go, or what are the challenges? If there's no further thoughts, I'll keep going, but I just thought we might have a quick breather here or share some thoughts. We might keep going. If you think of anything else, pop it in the chat. And again, if anyone's watching this on record on YouTube, you can use the comments and share your thoughts as well, particularly the challenges when it comes to letting go, because it can be tricky at times. Ooh. MJ says, selling my new frying pans as limit use of gas stove. That's a good idea. So the idea of just letting something go, like a new frying pan that you're not using. So yeah, let it go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, frying pan. Thanks, MJ, for sharing. We're going to have a look at step 5 now, easy storage. Now, this is deliberately called easy storage, so it will fit into the word system, S-Y-S-T-E-M. But it's deliberately the 5th step as well, because I would go into people's homes and find that they were overwhelmed by too many containers, too many baskets, too many gadgets that they've been trying to use to get organized, and we end up organizing them before we can organize anything else. So the idea is to be able to set up permanent homes for things, and the best way to do that is to do all these steps that we have already done, the sorting, the decluttering, before we actually do the storage. So we want to set up those permanent homes for items now, so it's easy to find where they are. So I did retrieve my pair of scissors. They went wandering and I just found them this morning to put them back to where they live. So it's easy to find them, easy to put back. I just reach over and put them in my little cup here with all my other little bits and pieces. So that's a permanent home. That's what I call easy storage. I don't need to open the drawer. I don't need to fumble. All my favorite things are just there. As I said, this is deliberately the 5th step. And when we are setting up storage, it doesn't have to be beautiful or perfect. It doesn't have to look like the pantry on the right, although it is very nice. But we want it to be easy for you and your family and any outside help that you've got coming in. So if you want to decant all of your goods into clear containers like this image here, knock yourself out. But that does take time, does take energy, does take commitment. So let's just get it done as easy as we can and as simply as we can, rather than make it too complicated. And that's why we're talking about these jars and baskets and containers. I call them tools. So these storage tools make it easier for us to do a task. But I do say that these tools are not magic. My little container here doesn't just, whistle at the end of the night and everything jump back in there. I need to deliberately put things back in there. That little container is very handy, but it's not magic. We need to use these containers and boxes and those sorts of things and put the items back in there. And that really does come back to that commitment to being organized that we spoke about earlier, dealing with what's in our hands and putting it where it should live, rather than just dumping it on the kitchen table. So continuing on, easy storage, the 5th step, is, as I said before, we're not trying to make it look beautiful. We're just focusing on getting it done. And our priority is to make it work well and efficiently. Once everything is organized, then you can go ahead and make it look perfect and get all the right containers if you want. But that's completely up to you, depending on how you want to spend your time and your energy. So here's a quick few ideas on some items that you could use around the home to help with the easy storage. Again, there's a billion, and I don't think that's an exaggeration, ideas online, Pinterest, Instagram, just generally on, on the web, of ideas to help with storage. You could look up ideas for storage and deep pantry shelves, and it would come up with lots of ideas for you. But I'm just going to show you a few here to give you the idea of how we're going to use these tools. So we might have a little sachet holder like this one on the left, just keeping little pieces together so they're not sliding all over your pantry shelves or in your drawers. They just keep all the like items together. On the right is a tub that is now used like a drawer. So this is really handy for deep shelves, deep cupboards, and particularly handy if you have mobility issues. So rather than you put your head in that cupboard, which I do all the time with clients, we can just pull that tub out like a drawer, put your items in it, and makes it nice and easy to access them. Or you might just have a Perspex container like these couple here in the bottom of our drawer here at home to keep like items together and stop them from toppling along, all over the place. Another quick photo, easy storage of our pantry here with Tupperware with simple labels from my brother labeler. Another thing that I see a lot of people in homes struggle with and get lots of questions about is storing photos. That could be a whole other kettle of fish, and there are professional organizers that will just help you with your photos. But what's the easiest way you can get this done? Again, you could spend hours and days on sorting these things out, but how do you want to use your time? Do you want to make a beautiful book like this for your photos and have it printed? Or will a box, a photosensitive box, sorted by year or sorted by person, is that sufficient for what you need to do? It might be all you need and just to get that job done. Again, completely up to you. What does organize mean to you? And how do you want to access it? Why do you want to organize your photos? Is it so you can look at them more often or access them easier or share them with other people? Let that be the guide as to how you start to organize yourself. This is my laundry cupboard at home. The little star down the bottom says it doesn't have to be pretty. This is how this cupboard has looked for the 20 years that we have lived here in this house. There's just some printed labels stuck on a beer box, and those items are still just where they were put many, many, many years ago. So it doesn't have to be pretty. I could spend the time and go to, Kmart or Bunnings or something and find the right containers and the right size for those, just those little spots there. It's a pretty small space, but it works perfectly for us. I'd rather get it done and move on to something more fun, go out for a walk, read a book, rather than spend too much time on some of these things that don't really matter too much, because that's just working perfectly for us. But again, what does organized mean to you? So we're jumping on to the 6th step. We're making good time, maintenance. I think we'll have a bit of time for sharing at the end as well. So keep your thoughts. Would love to hear your favorite bits. And also, if we missed anything, we will have time to discuss some things. But let's have a look at step 6, maintenance. So we want to have a look at understanding that being organized is not just a once-off task. Yes, we might do some decluttering and spring cleaning coming up very soon here in Melbourne. The weather is changing, but it is a daily task. Decluttering is the start. The real challenge is to maintain the order. So again, what have you got in your hands? Don't put it down, put it away, and being able to maintain your nicely organized spaces. Embrace daily decluttering habits to maintain an organized space. As we mentioned in step 2, 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes twice a day, or 1 bag a week. What are you going to embrace? What are those daily habits you're going to do? And use your future life and decision-making tools to stay on track. So again, what do you want your future life to look like? Do you want some nice clear spaces? Do you want to be doing more exercise, have more time for fun? keep that in mind when we are decluttering to help us stay motivated, to remind us what this is all about. And use your calendar. Get it in, make a commitment to yourself, make an appointment with yourself that Thursday afternoon, I'm going to do 2 hours in the laundry. That being said, 2 hours is a long time. When I started doing this work professionally, I remember how exhausted I used to be after a couple of hours. I can do it quite easily now with a lot of practice, but I'd recommend smaller chunks of time and leaving time for packing up as well, but get it in your calendar. And start to tweak your daily and weekly routines as well to help keep things in order. I was talking about looking after your sleep and coming up with a nice routine for your sleep, and anything else that you might want to do to stay healthy, happy, and active, looking at routines to help you there. And also involve the family by setting house rules and promoting teamwork, getting them on board and helping out rather than you having to be the one that's doing it. But I highly recommend doing it together rather than clean your room, offer to help out, do it together, so the job gets done easier and quickly and it's not so overwhelming. And people can help you do your tasks as well. See if you can get some outer accountability, maybe a support group or some friends. Join a class. If you want to do more crafting, join a craft group and then make a commitment to yourself. I'm going to do 15 minutes of decluttering of my crafting gear before I go out to the craft group. So sort of tie it in with something that you're already doing to help you stay motivated and accountable. Get professional help as well. If you're in Melbourne and need a hand, would love to come and help you out, or one of my team members. Or if you're joining us from anywhere in the world, we can help you by Zoom as well, doing virtual decluttering sessions. And just continue to adapt and adjust your systems to help you get it just right for you and your family. Again, what does organize mean for you? So I'll come back to the chat in a second. I'll just wrap up here. So in summary, I want you to start to be mindful of what you bring into your home. Make time for being organized. Make conscious choices about what to keep and what to let go. Sort like items, set up storage or the permanent homes, and keep it up. Let's let our stuff bring us closer to what we want rather than too much stuff taking us further away from the life that we want. Some of my people I've worked with over the years, I think they almost think that decluttering is a pastime, like it's a hobby. I think there's probably other not more important, but more fun things to do than decluttering and organizing their stuff. I think if we could just have less, makes things much easier. Practice makes perfect. Keep it up. And make time to do it, and you really will get much better at it as you go. Here we are here. If you want some continued support going forward, check out our website for lots of blogs. Have a look at social media for the same or different tips. We have these workshops each fortnight, so I would love for you to join us next time. And there's lots of recorded workshops like this one on YouTube. So lots of different ways that you can continue your decluttering journey. Our next session is 2 weeks' time, 29th of August, Declutter Keepsakes. Come and join us. And as I mentioned, this will be about talking about memorabilia, photos, kids' artwork, heirlooms, and things that that have gathered dust over the years. How can we declutter those without too much effort? Just for coming along today, would love to offer you a free consultation. Drop us an email, info@spaceandtime.com.au. Have a chat about your decluttering journey. Let me stop sharing my screen and have a look at our chat. And also feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions looking at the chat. Okay, we are looking at, thank you, Mary Lou. She has put the weekly planner in the chat. So if you're interested in scheduling that time, which I highly recommend, print out the weekly planner and put it in the diary, put it in the weekly plan, put in your classes, put in your work, put in your other tasks that you need to do, but put in your decluttering as well. She's all Mary Lou again. Thank you for putting the link for the virtual declutter coaching there, our website, and then also the link for the declutter keepsakes and the clarity call. So check out all of those. Are there copies of these slides for us after the session? No, not today, Holly. You're welcome to have a look at the recording. The recording will be sent out this afternoon, if not in the morning.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you
No
so
problem.
much.
And so you'll be able to see the recording. You'll be able to just flick back through those slides because I have spat out a lot of information in a short time. Yvette, you are welcome. Good to see you. Any other thoughts on things that you find difficult to declutter at home that you'd like me to discuss? We've got a few minutes before we need to wrap up.
Hi, this is Holly. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA.
Welcome.
Thank you. I just get emotional when I declutter, and sometimes it gets overwhelming, and I get sad. I mean, it's not even. I mean, it could be memories. You know, I'm divorced. I guess recently divorced. He filed when our daughter finished high school and before she went off to college. So I mean, some of the things, and I just avoid it. But I do you have any tips or hacks for me to work through the emotions and tackle that, because I want to clear up my living room so I can so I can exercise, yoga and whatever, and my kitchen so I can spread out and make a nice meal.
Yeah, great to have that in mind when you are decluttering, that's what you're doing it for, and keeping that in mind I think is helpful. Working through the emotions, as we were talking about in the sorting step, as we're sorting, we just try and let those emotions come and go as much as we can. They are a part of decluttering. They certainly can be overwhelming, but I'd probably put your timer on for 10 minutes, do the sorting, have a look what you've got in that space. 10 minutes, have a bit of a sort, go off, do something else for 10 minutes, come back again. Give yourself these little sprints, these little breaks. But again, as you said, the emotions are a part of this time of your life. They're not very nice, but they are a part of, a part of our lives, and a part of some of these different seasons that we're going through. So I would have a go at those small chunks. Have a look at our website as well. There's a couple of different articles about looking at memorabilia and keepsakes. There'll be some other ideas there. And also in a fortnight's time, when we're talking about those items, those keepsakes and memorabilia, they are talking about some of those sentimental items and those ones that pull at the heartstrings. So I would love to see you at that one. And yeah, go Holly.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. That's all right. And we've just written, yes, Mary Lou, you have just put a blog on the website about decluttering paperwork and starting afresh. And I can see her scurrying on, her little fingers and her eyes are having a look, and she's about to post it in the chat. Thank you. That's Holly. I worked with a client a couple of weeks ago, and we went through all of her paperwork. She'd been recently divorced, and she was just in the frame of mind that it's just going to go. And so that might be something interesting for you to have a read of. Thank you. That's yeah. So have a look at that. As I said, think you should be able to resonate with that. But she was really of the mindset that out with the old and make room for the new. So I hope that's helpful, but have a look at some of those things. Come back to me with an email, Holly, if you have any other questions or things that you're still not quite sure about. We'd be happy to help you out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else? Thank you, Mary Lou, for those links. Yes, letting go of paperwork, a fresh start for your mind and space. Yes, that was very good timing that you put that on the website this morning, Mary Lou. Very good work. All right, anything else before we wrap up? No, I'll share a quick story before we head off. In relation to paperwork and stopping more paperwork from coming in. And the person that's online and knows this story will recognize themselves very quickly, but I won't divulge who it is. But this person that I've been working with has this awesome idea of clearing out their car when they're at the gym every couple of days. So rather than just let all the rubbish pile up in the car, rather than let the paperwork mount up in the car, the rubbish, the wrappers, the bits and pieces, when they get to the gym, they go there a few minutes early, they gather the bits and pieces up out of the car, and they get rid of the rubbish into the rubbish bin, and then they have any paperwork bundled up neatly to be able to take inside when they get home. So something like that regular maintenance of looking after paperwork is such an amazing idea, rather than, oh no, I've got to go and get my car serviced next week. Let's throw everything into a shopping bag. That doesn't happen anymore, because this regular maintenance, this commitment to being organized is one of the best ways that I've heard of keeping your car clear of clutter. So just thought I'd share that while we had a couple of minutes to share in relation just that regular maintenance. As this has been a general overview of our decluttering and decluttering our life. But as we mentioned before, there's lots of other recorded sessions like this on YouTube for wardrobe, keepsakes. We've got garage, we've got the kitchen. Have we done kitchen? We would have done kitchen. Yeah, Mary Lou's nodding. Kitchen, which includes pantry. We've done declutter your mind. So there's lots of different ones, but also if there's some that you would like to know more about, let us know too, and we could run one of those in the next few weeks. I'm going to stop blubbering on unless there's anything else anyone would like to know more about. But feel free to follow up with an email to me afterwards. Any last thoughts? No. Thank you all again for joining us. Great to see you again. If anyone's watching on YouTube, drop us a note, say hi in the comments, and look forward to seeing you again very soon for our next workshop. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Bye.
Bye, Joy. Thanks, Yvette.